Let's see. Should be live. It seems like it. Cool. Do need to log in very quickly because Comey eWiki likes to send me out every 6 hours. How's everyone doing today? I know the stream was kind of out of the blue a little bit. Come on, that's got to be right. What's up, Edson? Cool. All right, so we should have this set up. I know a few of you guys have already watched my video from earlier today, kind of what my, my not references, but my resources that I use for my comics and stuff, which is pretty cool. That was a video that people were asking about for a while, like, hey, what do you use to find this or that, and all that stuff. So I had some fun doing that one. Plus, it's a pretty easy video to do. It's pretty lazy. The videos that require a lot of editing and movement and placing of icons and logos and transitions and stuff, like, I've done those before. It just takes like more time. Let's see here. Just kind of setting up some stuff. Might have to hit up Rob a little bit later today. I saw that after I posted my stream time, he was going to stream 30 minutes from now or so. So I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to do like a duo stream at the same time while hosting each other. I have no idea how that would work out. Not entirely sure, to be quite honest, if that's even like possible. It would be kind of cool. Where is... Okay, there we go. I guess that works good enough. Yo, Falanini, dude, Mendes Flips, dude, we got all the peeps here. Can you guys hear the music, by the way? It's probably really low, if I had to guess. Let's try this. I'd like, the point of the music isn't to, overpower my voice or the stream or anything like that, but happy Sunday. It is a happy Sunday. And Axon, what's up? I also do need to hit up Omi the Clown as well, because it seems like still having the issue of when I'm on, what's it called? Whenever I select top gainers or top losers, it's still showing just like really random stuff. Like I went to top gainers and it's still showing random NFTs that are in the negative and some in the positive, and it's just all over the place. So would be kind of nice to have that feature back. I know he's a busy guy, so. But we can look up collectibles directly and like find out the pricing. But if we're going off top gainers or top losers, which I feel like I don't do that often anyway, for the most part, so. Yes, we can. Cool. Mendes Flip says barely. Yo, Vibes just copped a ASM number 3 SR earlier. Let's go. Yo, you see the price of Fantastic Four 5 Ultra Rare? 5 Ultra End of Year? I have no idea. Simon or Samon? I have no idea, dude. Just up. It's just going to be higher. Honestly, like, this market is way too speculative. It's way too early. There's, 5, 6, 7, 8 different catalysts that could cause market prices to go up or down. I think anyone that gives, I don't say anyone, it depends on how loose. It's like, cool, ultra rare number 5, Fantastic Four, anywhere between 2 to 10,000. Like, you'll literally hear people say that 2 to 10,000. It's like, it's just so wide because it's like, assuming the worst case scenario and not a lot of catalysts come in, the amount of people that come into VV are really, really slow. There's a lot of like bearish or misinformation about NFTs, VV versus behind, like everything is just bad. Like, I think the market will still move up, but if everything is good, we got celebrities talking about it. VV starts advertising, OMI to NFT. We get Q system going. We start getting closer to like maybe 12 to 15 million users towards the end of it. Like, it could swing either way, like exponentially. So it's like, all right, anywhere between 2 to 10,000 gems. Like I really honestly couldn't tell you. And that's only because as someone that studies the market as much as they do, when you see market pricing, when you see things pump 250 to 300% and then it goes down just as much over the course of 3 months, and then sometimes things also nosedive because of a single tweet. All it takes is a single tweet from something like Veve to say, all right, look, we're done with exclusive covers on comics. We just don't have the resources, whatever. They can make up whatever they want. Then all of a sudden, all the exclusive art covers skyrocket. They all 10x. And then something else could happen where they're like, oh, by the way, we're going to do reprints of already established comics. Now we're going to do a series 2 of Fantastic Four #5. We're going to do a series 2. There's not enough comics. We want to give it more to the community. It'll still make the first ones pump quite a bit, but it also kind of just gets saturated because there's always the series 2 versus the series 1. It's like I said, there's just so many things that could change the price of Fantastic Four #1. So I don't know, like I will say, like, not even to be like mean or anything like that. I see that when people ask for 1 year price predictions, I think they're not in the wrong mindset, but just like they might need to kind of adjust their perspective a bit. Because if you're thinking like a year out is cool, but if you're worried about what the thing is going to be in a year, like obviously you're not thinking that long term, right? It's like, how much do I think it's just going to be up? Like I have no idea if Walt is going to flip Secret Wars Spider-Man in 6 months or 5 years, or hell, maybe Captain America might do it. Like I have no idea. All I know is that it's going to be up, right? And I think anyone that says for a fact this is better than this, or this is going to be this price in a year, is probably just making shit up, in my personal opinion. Let's look at my comics really quick. I don't actually own most of these comics. I only own probably 2 or 3 of these comics. But it's just kind of like my personal list of comics I'm keeping an eye on personally that I think are going to do well on the platform. So like Amazing Spider-Man #3, which is the first appearance of Green Goblin, is actually up. Looks like it was about 320. Now it's like 369. Fantastic Four #5 is pushing, this one was asked earlier, was pushing about 1,000. This one was like 800 to 850 for a good while during this gem squeeze, but I think it went up just because there was a period of time where the listings got like really low. I'm talking like low double digits, which is why I think the price just like really, really ran. I think also I might need to, interesting. Chart's not interacting. There it goes, kind of. Hold on one sec. Maybe need a refresh. Also, I kind of need to do this as well. More tool settings. Trying to get used to this on like Google Chrome. Need to just want to clear my whatever the hell it's called. Browse data or cached items and files, because that thing does kind of clog it up. Don't know why that's taking so long, but whatever. We'll go back to here. I don't think that's the case, but it's just there. It is now. It's kind of working. I don't know. Just picked up my second Ghost Rider UR. Hell yeah, dude! And now's a good price too. Where's it at? 254. Oh yeah, that's great. I mean, weren't these like 310 or 320 not too long ago? I mean, that was kind of still building off the hype of the comic plus the pump and all that other stuff, but it's doing it again. It's not letting me show the listings, like total listings. Let's do a refresh. Oh, now it does it, kind of. Oh man, this could be another reason why. It's because I might have Steam running. Could be a reason. Like, could I just close this? I was playing Warhammer, or Total War Warhammer, in case you guys are wondering. Let's see. That should hopefully make things a bit easier. Also, gotta turn on the fan. It's getting a wee bit hot in Arizona. How are you going to be bringing the vibes anytime soon? We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, I have a good feeling I will, but we'll see. Yeah, the listings on this just got super low, and I think the price, it just seems a bit weird that Fantastic Four number 5, the price of the ultra rare is like higher than Fantastic Four number 1, and even some of the other surrounding comics that are like in the same tier as it. Yeah, there was just a period of time where the listings got like really low. Again, I don't know why it's not showing listing. Well, I should probably just show the graph. That'd be smart. I don't know. I don't know what that listing amount is because it's not showing it on the right side or. Yeah, hold on. Let me like click on this one, then like click back. Will that work? Also should, not that it matters, but hide that. Huh. Ecomi Wiki is not working with me right now. Or again, it could be just my computer. Let's go. Maybe look up some. I don't know. Long story short, Fantastic Four number 5, the listings got really, really low at one point. So the prices just started running, and then it got pumped all the way up to like, I think 1.8, 1.9K. I don't think people were actually buying it at that price point. I think it just started running. And then people started, you know, undercutting and listing all their stuff. So let me just click on one of these. Okay, so it's showing now. Maybe it just doesn't like my comic selection. Maybe that's it. Awesome, thanks. I'm gonna be bringing the vibes. So yeah, we'll just cheer for a bit. What do you guys think about the? I'm still waiting on like comics and crypto and everyone else to talk about the Black Widow drop comic. I think it's gonna be okay. I feel like it's gonna do pretty much roughly on par, probably in between. Let me see here. Maybe they did update it, or maybe let me look up vvrank.com, see if they updated it, or if there is a. Widow. Work with me. Okay, so Black Widow, it looks like, oof, didn't look good. So Black Widow, B tier, at about 30,000. So he has it in B tier. That is one thing that Sleeping Comics did say. If you guys haven't watched my video talking about the comic resources, he said these are just in alphabetical order. It just so happens that Amazing Spider-Mans are just tend to be relatively top tier, and they start with A. But these are all, you know, this is the part where it's like, you know, we look at Uncanny X-Men 282, like, okay, is Bishop B tier, but like, so is Avengers 8, like Kang? Like, is that really the same level? Yes and no. He said it's more of like a loose chart in it, so there is some speculative stuff on here. Personally, I do like, where is it? Boodle NFT's listing, but I don't think he's updated it yet with Black Widow. I still have yet to sign into Twitter on this, so oh well. I don't think he's updated it yet. Let's see. Ultra Rare Spider-Man FA or Ultra Rare Ben Reilly Spider-Man. What do you think? We'll take a look at those really quick. I like it better than She-Hulk. Yeah, it's like, I feel like it's gonna do like a little bit better than like Eric Killmonger, and then I don't even know what's like the next like lowest tier one after that. Let me see. Like it better than She-Hulk. But we'll look up Spider-Man very quick. Come on. Let's go here. So Ben Riley's at 5K. This one's at 4. I don't know. This one costs a bit more. I do think this one is. Let me see the highs and lows of these. So this one went up to 15. I mean, this one has like 3 candles around like 13,000 or 13,000 plus, which is nice to see. But at the same time, ultra rare. Let's see how far this went. The big thing for Ben Riley is like the scarcity. There's only 616 of them. This one has 25. This one has 25,000. So 75 listings. 13. It's 38. Honestly, I think it's a coin flip. I think Ben Riley, they both can go up a ton. Like their graphs look almost identical. The listings are roughly the same, even though this has about a third of the mints. 1,200. No, about like a third to fourth of the mints is the other one. This one has 38. This one only has 75. So it's like you would think this would technically be a fourth of the mints because it's a fourth of the editions, but it's not. I think you can go. Probably the safer bet is just the ultra rare animated Spider-Man, but I do think Ben Riley is a bit more volatile. Like the super low mints is super nice. I know it's not the original Peter Parker Spider-Man, but people do like this one a lot. And Ben Riley isn't like an unheard of Spider-Man either, right? So I honestly think it's a coin toss. Personally, in this market, maybe you could go for the normal Spider-Man and use like that 700 gem difference to pick up. Like you can get some good stuff right now for 700 gems as well. So, yep, like it better than She-Hulk. I agree. Coca-Cola SR or Golden Moment Donald and Daisy. Let's look both of those up. My knee-jerk reaction is just immediately say Donald and Daisy. Should probably just type in snow globes. There it goes. Secret rare. I would, me personally, I would still get Donald and Daisy. Like even though Donald and Daisy haven't hit these numbers yet, they've only been on the app for what, 4 weeks? Less than that? For about 4 weeks. So that's just me personally. I know this thing. That's only because it's been on the app longer, which is why it has a history of this long. Plus, it was during the era of just everything was pumping really hard. So I do think, not artificially pumped, but I do think this is a bit of an anomaly when like the prices are this high. I think it's probably somewhere more in the average down here, personally. I'm saying Golden Moments over Snow Globe, personally. Let's do this. Let's take a look at just Golden Moments in general. Leading the Tramp, 650. Holy moly. What was their all-time low? I could have sworn it was like 550 at one point. Or maybe like 590. It's their all-time low. Okay, yeah, 565 was technically their all-time low. That's ridiculously low. And again, I do think this gem squeeze could just continue and just keep going as it is, you know, like right now. So let's see what else. So Donald Daisy 880 partner statue R2D2 is at 4,100. Holy moly! I remember when it was a big deal when it broke below 6K. Now it's below 5K. Now it's pushing 4,100. Where's my Sorcerer's Hat at? Sorcerer's Hat 2,300. Not great. Wow, else is below 2K. Pizza Planet Truck's at 935. Wally 760. Herman Bart still chilling at 1050. I'm surprised. He's been holding his value above 1,000. Skateboard at 775, so that's cool. Avengers logo at 900. Iron Man at 1,300. I've been telling people, just wait. You want an Iron Man? I do think a time will come where he'll touch 1,000, and you can pick it up then if you wait long enough. Mickey Uncommon is a steal. Probably. I'm assuming Steamboat Willie. We'll even check out the lenticular cards too in the meantime, but first we'll look at Steamboat Willie at 5. Yeah, that's really low. Steamboat Mickeys are a good pickup. Yeah, they are. And right now, I mean, other than its initial opening on the market, yeah, this is pretty much a steal. And again, there's a reason why it only held this value for probably like 12 hours, and then it went down immediately. A little bit of resistance on the way down, not as much as I would like to see, but it was like a relatively new drop. Yeah, like the first 3 weeks of January, everything was just pumping like so hard. It was ridiculous. Floor price 950. So what's that now? So it's at 500. Looks like someone actually bought a sub 100 mint for 2,900 gems. Looks like March 1st or March 2nd. So interesting. I don't know about that. I mean, they basically paid, because it was 600 gems at the time was the floor. So what they paid, what, 5 times floor? More than 5 times the floor for a sub 100? I don't know about that. I'd rather just pick up 5 happy whistles personally, but to each their own. Yeah, I mean, these are all great steals. I do think the market will squeeze it a little bit more before we start seeing a big reversal, but it could happen. What up, Veve Vibes? What are your thoughts on low mints? YouTube 671. Me personally, I'm not a low mint hunter. I will admit, from what I've seen, most of the people that are consistent low mint hunters have a lot of fiat, a lot of money to put into the app. So, I mean, you are appealing to those people, but then again, you are limiting yourself, right, to, the market, right? So, my personal opinion, I try to get the lowest mint possible around floor price. I might pay 10% more. Like, maybe. It depends on how much it is. Like, I would say the higher the price, the less I'm willing to spend percentage-wise on, like, a low mint. For the most part, I just buy floor. Like, eventually, these are NFTs I'm going to sell. I do want profit. I do want to make money. And if you're going for a low mint, could you get more as a premium? Yeah, but you have to really wait for a while. You're going to have to wait for well past homing to NFT. You're going to have to wait for maybe niche, like mint collectors or low mint collectors, whatever it is. And even then, they could just lowball you, right, for a long time. They could just say, hey, I'm just going to pay 2.5 times floor. And you're like, well, I want 4 times the floor. And they're like, cool. All right, I'll just go spend my money somewhere else. And then that's another thing. So I'd rather just buy floor. I might spend a tiny bit extra if I can get a certain, like, okay, it's a sub 4-digit mint, or it's like a 3-digit mint or whatever, and it's slightly above floor, sure, but I'm not paying a premium by any means for low mint, in my personal opinion. Steamboat Mickey's is a good pickup. Yep. Are you looking on buying something right now? Not really, Raul. Not really. I do think the market's going to contract a bit more between now and when MTL is like fully rolled out and stuff. We're kind of seeing it now in the market. Things have been kind of slowly trending down. There's a channel where you can make a bit of profit or flipping for certain NFTs, but for the most part, things, as you can tell, are just trending down. Like, listings are super low for Daisy right now, like overall, but that could be due to the delisting feature. No. 6. No, that's not the case. Yeah, it's just everything's really everything's down right now. So right now I'm not spending, but the things I'm keeping my eyes on are mostly um ultra rare and secret rare comics, golden moments, lenticular cards, Steamboat Willies, kind of, some Spider-Mans, some Batmans, but that's really it. For the most part, no independent artists, no like small IP stuff. Not really looking to chase any pumps or chase any hype surrounding independent artists or Immutable X or anything like that. Not really. Rather just stick to what I think would be relatively consistent. They should announce more Star Wars. We would see exploding prices. For Star Wars, everything else would completely tank. If they announce any kind of Star Wars, like I said, now I really think everything revolves around MTL until it's fully rolled out. More people have access to the cash out feature. If anything, it's kind of made the market not necessarily worse, but because we're talking about MTL so much, or at least Veve is, a lot of the flippers have already liquidated all their NFTs, I would imagine. Not sure. This is just speculation. They've already liquidated their stuff, so now they have a ton of gems, and now they're just waiting. All right, when's MTL here? I'm trying to cash out. And like, hey, we got this big drop, this big drop. They're just flipping. Like, if I had 10,000 gems just waiting to be cashed out, if there's a new drop that's announced that I think I can make some cash on or flip some stuff in the meantime, like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna stack Ghost Riders and just flip them on the market, make some profit, and causing prices to stay low, right? And not get into the hands of hodlers, right? So until all those people basically get off the app, and I have nothing against them. Like, they can do whatever they want with their money in the market. It doesn't matter. But until we get a lot of those people off the app and until we get MTL fully launched, we're probably going to get some big whales coming onto the platform, because now they actually see an exit strategy off the platform. We could get some big money coming, and then sometime around there, could take a couple days, could take a couple weeks, could take a month. Who knows how long it's going to take? But something surrounding MTL. I think once that's done, then prices are going to really pump. Like, then prices are going to really run away, in my personal opinion. But as of right now, until MTL is fully out, until people have the means of cashing out, the prices are just going to keep dipping more and more and more, in my opinion. And anytime they're going to do a big IP announcement, things are just going to crash even harder. Like, if they announce Star Wars, everything, I think, honestly, across the board is going to drop anywhere between 10 to 25% on top of what's already happening right now. I bought Steamboat Willie UR for 3.2K. Is that a good buy? Was that what was all-time high? Ultra rare Steamboat Willie? Not by any means, dude. That's a fantastic buy. His all-time high, technically, didn't hold it for very long. It's 10K. He actually hit 9.5. He hit over 9K 3 different times. So went up to 10K, went down to 8.7, went up to 10, down to 8.8, up to 9.6. So, and this is like the chart I want to see. Like, there's a lot of resistance, and like, people really understand the value of Ultra Rare Steamboat Willie. It's just going down right now because you look back here, right? It pumped. I mean, the thing went from $4,000 up to $10,000 in legitimately a week. And right now, it's just some natural retracement. But then right now, everything's getting dogpiled because of MTL and cryptocurrencies crashing and real life stuff going on and blah, 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 blah. So it's kind of just getting dogpiled right now. And who knows, like, this thing could go down a tiny bit more between now and MTL, or before we see prices take off. But now is like a great time to buy. Like, anytime right now is a great time to buy. Me, I'm just holding off a bit more. Plus, I'm on the fence whether I actually want to cash out and buy a bunch of OMI, because to be honest, I've literally put no money in OMI, and I've been hearing a lot of like very, very bullish information on OMI, and I do want to actually invest some money now while I still can. So yeah, let's see. How much fiat have you invested so far, or do you use crypto virtual box breaks? I've literally invested like maybe a couple $100 into the app, and right now my vault value is probably low 5 digits on the app. It was much higher, obviously, because before the crash, and I kind of wish I just held off on spending anything at any point in the last like month and a half. But none of us really saw this happening in the last 2 months. Like, no one really saw this big of a crash happening. And like in hindsight, it makes perfect sense, right? Like when you see something basically do a 2.5x, right? Like people are going to take profit. People are going to sell their stuff off and take profit and liquidate into gems, right? Like it's just going to happen eventually, and it's not going to go up and straight down, right? If that item is really good, or I should say if the NFT is really good, like Steamboat Willie, it's going to take a while for it to sell off. People are going to want to hold it. But if it's your independent artist or an IP that's not that well known or not that popular, or if there's not a lot of bullish information on it, it will go up and it'll do the same thing, but just at a much more rapid rate, like in like half the time. So, yeah. So that's my take on it. I haven't really put that much into the app, to be honest. I've got a couple lucky wins. I did a whole lot of flipping between like November and January, but then this kind of just threw everyone off. This whole like market crash thing threw a lot of people off. So right now I'm just kind of just holding on to the stuff I have. I have just shy of like 2.5 grand in gems, but I'm just holding off on spending anything right now. Star Wars lightsabers incoming. Let's hope so. That would be sick. How insane would that be? That would be super awesome. Swinging around the lightsaber. Put it in different characters' hands. Black Panther with a lightsaber, like why not? Captain America, Steamboat Willie. I remember watching like a lot of meme stuff of like lightsabers and stuff, like especially since Darth Maul had the double-edged lightsaber. Dooku has like the curved, angles to the left lightsaber. I've seen one like imagine Steamboat Willie's wheel. It just has lightsabers on the ends and he's doing his thing. Keep my eyes up for golden moments. Yeah, honestly, all those are good, and there's no. And if something does pump, I suggest not chasing the pump. That's just my personal prerogative, is to just not chase pumps. So let's say you do have your eyes on golden moments. Maybe you're looking at LSS, C3PO, and Iron Man. Those are like the three you want. Let's say you're out of town for a bit or something happens, like you liquidated all your stuff, you're having your eye on it, and the market's starting to recover. It's starting to do like really well. Like C3PO's back up to 3K or 3.2K, and like Iron Man's at 2.4, else is at 3, and you're just like, wow, everything just pumped. Like, don't buy into it then. Like, there's still other things. You can grab lenticular cards. You can grab some of the Spider-Mans. You can grab Steamboat Willie. You can grab some ultra rare comics. You can grab I don't know about certain Batmans, but some of them are pretty good. So there's always alternatives, right? At least in my mind. So do you think we will see MTL fully implemented by the end of March? I get access to my savings at the end of March when I'm 18. I need to take advantage of this dip. MTL fully getting rolled out? I don't know. I don't see it personally. I'm thinking probably closer to end of May, if I had to be honest. And that's, again, pure speculation. I have no idea, but I just don't see Veve having MTL like fully done and like rolled out by the end of March, like maybe end of May. Or, who knows? They could just drag this out for another 3 months. Who knows? But Sam, but congrats, dude. That's awesome. Shahib Singh, what if MTL starts getting rolled out in a week or so? We will more than likely see an announcement very soon and the market will pump. How do you know the market will keep trending down? I will admit, some of the MTL selling has already happened. I would say a good portion of it. I would probably say, again, speculation, like 60%, 60 to 70% of the selling has already happened. Like people have already liquidated, people are already ready for MTL to just be announced, or people are just waiting to have it on hand, right? But I do think there are some people that are just waiting for the actual full announcement to happen, and then they will sell it off, right? People that were on the fence or maybe waited too long or whatever it is. Like the market will go down a bit. It's just how long. That's the only thing I don't know, Sahib. Could, like, again, when they announce it in an article, like, by the way, we are done with the beta testing. We are now rolling it out to bigger, because right now they said the beta testing's done and they're rolling it out to smaller groups, or maybe the beta test is still ongoing. I'm not exactly sure, but they said eventually there's going to be a point where they're going to roll it out to larger groups. And when that's announced, people will start selling off, I would imagine, at cheaper prices to get rid of their stuff or start liquidating or whatever it is. Or maybe some people are holding on to their stuff now, hoping for a short-term pump, and then they're going to sell it off later on, whatever it is. I don't know what people are thinking. But when that happens, I imagine there's going to be a short-term dump on the market, and then whales, other people are going to be jumping onto the app, or people that are already on the app waiting with their gems. Because I think some people like myself are kind of waiting not for the absolute bottom, but like Steamboat Willie, if it really wanted to, hell, I mean, it could go down to 2.5, and that's a big deal, right? Now you're basically buying it at a 20% discount, 20 to 30% discount. So I do think there are some people waiting for an actual bottom, and then when things move, it's going to move very quickly. I think within a couple of days, like some NFTs will do like a 2 or a 3x in that time. But the only issue is, when is that move being made, right? It could take 2 days before people actually start buying things up after the MTL announcement, or it could happen when they say, all right, everyone's going to get rolled out, and then there could be a tweet 3 weeks later that says, by the way, in case you guys didn't know, everyone has access to MTL, because really the only way as for from what I've heard, is if you log into the omi.vvme whatever website, and you just look, and if it says payout, cool. If it doesn't say payout, then you don't have it yet. So, but I did hear too that you will get an email, but I'm not sure about that. So that's just what I'm thinking. I do think we'll see a slight dump before we start seeing a massive pump on the market. That's just my take. Again, just speculation. Like, hi, okay, should I sell my secret rare Black Panther animated to get the top blue chips common books, or just hold it? It depends on how much you bought it for, Rios, I would say. I mean, if you got it on drop, like, sure. I mean, it's all profit, right? And you can invest into the top blue chip comic books. I mean, even if you sold Black Panther right now, I'm just gonna put Panther. If you sold Black Panther right now, the secret rare, for 1,600, let's say you get 1,450 out of it. I mean, you're not really getting any like blue. I mean, you can probably get, I don't know if you're looking to stack commons. I'm not sure if you meant common, like common books or comic books, or hold it. You can't go wrong holding it, but at the same time, you can either get 2 pretty nice ultra rare comics, or you could stack a good amount of rares, uncommons, commons. I'm not sure what your style is when it comes to comics, because I think everyone kind of has a style with comics, if that makes sense. Some people, if you're a comic book collector, like sleeping at comics and stuff, I imagine they just do all of it. Like they collect the top tier, bottom tier, not bottom tier, but like the top tier stuff at a high level, like secret rare, ultra rares, as well as stacking commons that they think that are going to do well long term. But I feel like your average person is going to want to do one or the other, right? And I think me personally, I would rather, if I'm going to start heavily investing in comics, I'd rather start buying secret rare and ultra rares, because I think those have the most room to move. I hope that kind of answers your question, or I'm kind of curious what your style of comics are versus also how much you paid for Black Panther. Watching Veve Vibes while I smoke a bowl to decompress from a hard day at work. Hell yeah, dude. Do what you need to do. Do whatever it is. If I had some cool animations, I would do it for you, so you're just like really tripping, but I won't do that to you. Palm, we're getting some people with some interesting names out here. Like a lot of new users. I'd say I've seen I sell JPEGs, but some of these other people I haven't seen before. Palm, I was afraid of buying off app, but YouTubers like Rob has encouraged me to go off app with trusted sellers at 50% off floor gems. That 50% should give an idea of how much it could go down with MTL. Yeah, I think so too. Because again, like let's say you bought Steamboat Willie for 3K, right? You could put $1,500 into the app. Let's see. So Steamboat Willie's at 3K right now. So imagine you put $1,500 in gems, which means you can double it, right? Essentially to 3K. That means you could essentially sell off Steamboat Willie for as low as 1,800 gems and still make a profit. It's not much profit. Is it probably not worth it for it to go that low? Sure. But you could easily sell it off for 2K, even 1,800, and still make profit doing it. Because you got your gems for 1,500. To be honest, I would say maybe 5, maybe 10% of the people on the platform have actually bought gems off app. A huge portion of users haven't done it, or they have so little gems they can't afford it, or they only have a couple hundred gems on the app just to play drops, and that's pretty much it. But overall, I don't see like the entire market across the board, every NFT is like gonna go well below a certain price threshold because a handful of people in the grand scheme of things bought gems off app. Like, I just don't see it happening. And even then, like, people still know to just hold stuff, right? At least I would think so. At least I would hope so. Let's say that. Where the hell am I? Clinch Cab, Rios, I will buy your SR Black Panther. Buy Black Panther for cash. The world does not need a Labbit with a lightsaber. You say that. But if you're trying to do Labbit breeding and you want a little baby Labbit lightsaber. Baby Yoda Labbit. I was never really like, I kind of like the idea of Labbits, but it's not too bullish on it, and it's, I don't know, way too speculative for me personally. But Mike Mueller, that would be hilarious. I really don't see them doing it before Christmas. Doing what? MTL? That'd be really, really rough. That's when people spend the most money. It would just make sense to do it and then go hard on promotion and advertising. Oh, just advertising in general. We'll make sure that they get it right before releasing. Yeah, I think in the grand scheme of things, I don't think Veve like needs to like really revolve their stuff around like holidays or whatever. Like, they're in this in like the very long term, I would imagine. And it doesn't matter when they start advertising or not, or whatever it is. Like, I don't think they need to do it like before the holidays or something. Like, they're not the type of industry that like relies on holidays or anything like that to do well. Like, that's just my take. But although there was a massive boom in the market after 12 days of Veve, so there is that. And people will eat up the floor instantly. We wouldn't even feel the dip. Potentially. I think you're talking about marketing, right? Or are you talking about MTL? I really like think MTL is probably going to be fully released. Again, it's speculation. Month and a half, 2 months, probably 2 months. So I'm waiting for a near bottom with gems ready. Me too, Paul. I'm doing the same thing. Or if I get the cut option, I'm still weighing my options. I might have to ask, talk to some of my friends and some of my, like my brother who owns quite a bit of Omi and kind of determine it. Like, I'm still up massively off my initial investment on Veve, but at the same time, I do want to leverage Omi, but I also do want to have enough NFTs on the platform where I can see some growth. I do think the Veve NFTs will maybe initially grow faster than Omi, but I don't know. Like, if Omi gets on like huge exchanges, like that could be a big deal too, obviously. And part of me does want to buy it up while I can, while it's at, what is that at right now? It is at, come on. Omi coin. It's at 0.0039. Jeez. Yeah, that is pretty low. Close that. Yeah, it's basically at 0.0039. 2,500 money, okay to lose. Where are placing comics, golden moments, lenticular, Omi? Grab and drops. That's almost exactly how much I have on my account. I have like 20, I think I have 2,300 gems, which there's a couple other things I do want to sell off in the meantime so I can get closer to 2,500. We're planning, that's what I'm trying to decide right now, to be honest. Part of me almost wants to like maybe sell some other kind of like big name NFTs while I can and buy Omi while it's cheap. But then again, I could see the NFTs doing a massive reversal around MTL, and so there will be people, including myself, that will probably MTL a good amount of cash out and then invest it in Omi, because Omi to NFT or NFT to Omi, which might be a thing. I don't know. I don't think so. Um, even if that was an option to like sell your NFTs for Omi and people just literally just pay you Omi for it, like through the Veve app, even then, that's out to way later this year, and like the prices of the NFTs as well as Omi are going to be very skewed or just very different than what they are now. So, but yeah, I agree. Like that ultra rare comics, golden moments, lenticular card, like they're all great. So, Joseph Laney, my pale button is grayed out on omi.vv. Yeah, so you just don't have it yet. I don't have it yet either. There was a couple people in my chat last time that said that they did have the what do you call it? The pale button like white or just like available to click on it. So I thought that was pretty cool. JMA VDG. It's not the best to just always buy the top 3 Marvel ones. Is it not best? Yes and no. It's mostly on your price point, right? If you simply just can't afford the hard-hitting comics, and even then, there's a lot of good comics. Let me show you here. I'll show you Boodle NFTs as well as Veve ranks lists. It's more than just a percentage, right? Like me personally, I'm more of a percentage guy, right? Like, yeah, you can buy, let's say, Marvel Comics #1 for 300 gems, and if it goes up to 600, like that's awesome. That's a 2x. That's a 200% increase. Technically, 100%. I don't know, whatever that is. But if I could buy something else, even though it's cheaper, like that's the other thing too, is like cheaper NFTs or comics, depending on how popular they are, they also have more room to move too. Like it's so much easier for something to go from 50 to 150 than it is for something that is 10,000 to go up to 25,000, to basically double or triple the price. It's so much easier for those. But again, it depends on popularity and all that stuff. So this is Veve rank as well. So sorry for blinding you guys, but this is just how it's just going to be. So see y'all. And actually, just if you haven't seen it, you should watch my video. I literally released, I don't know, 4 hours ago, maybe 5 hours ago, 4 hours ago. It has 6 different resources that I use to kind of help me figure out how to price my comics or like what to buy and stuff, right? So Amazing Spider-Man 252 is up here just because it's low mint, very rare, whatever. That's kind of does its own thing. Marvel Comics, Amazing Spider-Man #1. Daredevil #1 is good. Fantastic Four #1. Fantastic Four #5 is great. First appearance of Doctor Doom. Miles Morales is great. Green Goblin is good. So is Dr. Ock. The what's it called? The ratings, so A, B, it's actually in alphabetical order. I think all of the S and A's are very, very good. The B's get a little bit confusing just because, you have things like, first appearance of Bishop 282 at like the same tier as first appearance Kang or Loki, or Luke Cage. I wouldn't put them in the same tier, but they're just in alphabetical order. So this is a good way to get like a loose idea of what the comics are ranked as. I do like this list a bit more. The readability, like I said, it's super, super bright. But I do like this one because the top tier ones up here actually goes from left to right. So this person, Boodle NFT, I've watched a couple of his videos before, but he has like the top tier stuff. So Marvel Comics is better than FF4 #1, than Amazing Spider-Man. I think right now, of all of these, technically Fantastic Four Ultra Rare is more expensive than these two right now. So Fantastic Four 1 and Spider-Man. But you can tell, remember we saw earlier, like Ultimate Fallout was in the high tier. Journey to Mystery was like in the high tier last time. I stacked actually quite a few of the Ghost Riders when they dropped, and I made quite a bit of money doing that. So that was awesome. Kang is awesome. Like these are all really good. So mostly it's just price point, right? So if you can't afford the most expensive comics, like if you just don't have 300 a common, maybe it's better just to save yourself 50 gems and get yourself an ultra rare of the Marvel Spotlight, the Ghost Rider. I still think that's very underpriced for now. Amazing Spider-Man #3, so that's the first appearance of Doc Ock. That's at 369. That's the ultra rare. So I get what you mean. Like if the tier list is this obvious, because we don't have something like that with collectibles, right? We kind of get an idea of like, all right, here's the golden moments, they're high. Here's like the Spider-Mans, they're high. Like we kind of get it, but it's not something as like black and white as like comics, right? But I still think a lot of comics have a lot of room to move, and there's also some catch-22s about these other comics too, right? Where the hell is it? Right here. Is that these comics, like up here, they have a lot of mints. Like Marvel Comics #1, 60,000 mints. Amazing Spider-Man, 60,000 mints. Fantastic Four #1, 60,000 mints. So it's not that that's going to like heavily affect the price. Obviously, those are all very expensive, but at the same time, gem for gem, there could be some things that are better to pick up, like Ultimate Fallout, Fantastic Four #5. Maybe, the Vision, Avengers 57. Like, there's options. Kang is really expensive because it has super low mints as well. So, kind of hope that helps. What is going on here? Why did I do that? Kind of hope that helps. GMA. Kind of hope that helps. It's kind of like the same thing as saying, well, I know that's not what you mean exactly, but it's like, well, for golden moments, why not just buy a bunch of Walt's, R2D2s, and C3POs? Like, those are the 3 most expensive NFTs. It's like, well, not everyone can afford them. It doesn't mean Elsa, Iron Man, and C3PO are like Mickey Sorcerer's hats like trash. It's mostly just a price point thing, whether you can afford it or not. Jacob, what's your thoughts on R2D2 and Ultra Rare Spider-Man FA for long term? They're both fantastic. I couldn't even remotely give you a long-term prediction because, like I said before, there's 101 reasons why prices of things could go up or down, even externally. Yeah, there's a war going on, crypto's down, whatever. It's like those could affect the prices too. So it's like, all I know is what timelines that Veve is giving us for, like, okay, here's like the Q system, here's OMI to NFT, here's MTL, here's like possible Veveverse announcement. Like, that's all I can go off of. Like, that's anyone that tells you that they can like look at a chart and guess what something is going to be a year from now, like, they're just full of it, or they're going to give you an insanely wide range, which, people are like, hey, like, what's the price of this in here? I'm like, Marvel Spotlight #5, which is ultra rare Ghost Rider. I'm like, I don't know, 1,000 to 5,000 a year from now. It's just hard to tell, but I think all I know is that those are going to go up. Really, the question should be like, hey, a year from now, do you think this will go up by a lot or a little? It's like, probably a lot, I would say. So I hope that helps, Jacob. Like, if you're like trying to get a number, I couldn't even remotely give you a number. I agree with you, Vibes. I think a lot of MTL is already priced in. People sitting on piles of gems are just ready to cash. I think so too. And like I said, I think it's closer to like 60 to 70% of the people that were wanting to cash out already have, or maybe they like, maybe their vault value is like, let's just say 10,000 gems. They might already have, 7,000, 8,000 in liquid, but they just have 2,000 in other NFTs that they're trying to sell off, or, maybe they bought something at a little bit too high. Now they're trying to find a way to flip it. There could be other stuff like that, but I do think there'll be a little bit more of a dip. If that could last a day or two, maybe a bit longer, maybe a bit shorter. And then we're going to see a big reversal in the market. I'm buying Omi as well. 102 million. That's awesome, dude. That's quite a bit, right? Not sure how much that is. Like if you bought now, let's just say if you bought like, wow, my computer is not finding calculator on my computer, but it's sad. There it goes. Let's do this. Is that right? So you would have to buy 2 million Omi. Okay, that's not right. You do. $3.9. Okay. Yeah, so if you got 202 million Omi right now, it would be about $8,000. That's a good amount of Omi. That's a good amount of Omi. I mean, I'll be honest, there's times where I've contemplated, maybe it could be a point where I do later where I really see the peak of the market. It could be 3 months from now, 4 months from now, whatever it is. The height of NFTs, when they really pump, sell at the top or somewhere remotely near the top, right? And then just invested all into just Omi, and then when Omi to NFT happens later on, Omi's up. Hopefully NFTs are down or whatever. Omi to NFT will also be another catalyst to cause things to just pump like ridiculous, because people are like, by the way, Omi to NFT is either now live or it's going to be live in a couple weeks, or hey, we're working on Omi to NFT over this next month or 2 months. That will cause the market to pump really hard. But that's awesome, Palm. I just watched a throwback video from Veve Vault's stream. Drop of Marvel comic #1. Crazy to see that you could just keep hitting buy now and get unlimited Marvel 1 comics for a drop price. Man, halftime's changed. Yes, they've changed a lot. And that's the thing, right? Like, people didn't know back then that this would be the commons would be a $300-$400 comic. Like, no one thought that back then. People were just like, trash. People were probably just trying to get ultra rares and secret rares, right? They're just, if they didn't get those, they probably just threw it back up on the market, right? Yeah, times have changed a lot since Veve first started, but that's only because you know the stuff you know now. If you were in Veve back then, I think, including myself, I would have thought just like everyone else, right? You just would have adopted what everyone else thought. I think the Marvel 1 drop is what funded a lot of liquidity and took the market to another level during the first pump in December. I could see that. Marvel comic went to 300. It was over. Yeah. I mean, NFT would price prices for sure. There are a lot of people who did well in crypto. Yeah, including, I kind of heard something that it was in Twitter Spaces yesterday, but Brock McBlockchain was also one of the, I don't know, was Brock McBlockchain? Fuck, who was it? It was somebody. But they were actually had designers or people or something like that for the Go chain, because Omi needed, or Veve needed to be on some sort of cryptocurrency, right? Or on some sort of blockchain in order to mint the NFTs and do all this stuff, right? So I think it was Brock McBlockchain, whoever it was. I don't know who's in charge or who helped run the Go chain thing, but when he kind of heard about Veve and all this stuff, as far as I know, he invested a lot in Omi initially. And yeah, he's gonna be legit later on. And he's not the only one, but there's gonna be quite a few other people. He's even admitted, he's like, yeah, there's gonna be people out there that are not only gonna, when Omi to NFT hits, not only just sweep the floor of NFTs, but just buy up entire collections. Like, just, entire collections will just be gone, or at the very least they'll just buy over half of a collection, and you just, stuff will disappear from the market. Certain things might just disappear from the market completely until people find out and they put their prices back up, or people start listing again, right? But there could be some NFTs that just, like, if it's a low enough mint, or if there's only a small handful or whatever on the market, prices could just 10x, just because that's the new floor, which is just crazy to think of. Sorry, I didn't read that comment. Uncommon, rare, ultra rare, Fantastic Four #1. Yeah, the big three are heavily slept on. Same art in the black and white variants and lower mints. I agree, Joseph. And that's the thing. I do think as comic book collectors come onto the platform, even then, there's a lot of niche collectors on the app. There might be cover art purists that might hate this cover art, right, of Ghost Rider. They might hate that. I don't like it when we have new artists come in and blah, blah, blah. They might like the cover art so much that they buy every single variant of the older comics and just buy up all of the different cover variations, because they're like, I like the black and white one, I like the uncommon. Because if we go down here to the early comics, gosh, I really wish ecomi wiki would at least show the art on the right side. It used to, but it stopped. I'm sure it's just an issue with the API or something going on. But if you look at Journey into Mystery, I know it's hard to see. Wish I could. That is absolutely not what I wanted. There it goes. I know it's hard to see, but you guys can tell. The Journey into Mystery one, the ultra rare is just black and white of the cover art, and then the uncommon has a bit more color, and the rare has a slightly different color, and the ultra rare just has no color, or it's just black and white. So there could be comic book artists that they're just purists. They're just I only like the cover art. Anything else is just BS. And there's, I think, pretty much any kind of cover art, or any type of comic, at least relatively high tier comic, will have a niche, or there will be people out there that will buy it. If we're talking some of the bottom tier stuff or things that are like less popular or either don't have an FA or have like a kind of an irrelevant FA that's not very prominent, let's say, people will buy those, but just not at a significant rate or as high of a price. I sold 1 million Omi when I found out that I can get gems at 50 cents. I was worried that Omi might explode. It turned out I got super lucky selling at 0.0075. Now I'm trying to buy Omi so quick. Yeah, now's a fantastic price right now to get that stuff. Sometimes you just get lucky. Yeah, dude. Or you just, I mean, you had a plan, right? You found out you could buy gems at half off. So you made a move. You saw Omi was high, gems were cheap. Why not? That's you know, part of it is luck, but also part of it is like seeing, you know, making connections, right? Seeing trends, seeing opportunities that presents itself. So that in and of itself is a skill. Joseph Laney, ASM Uncommon only has 6,000 editions. That is impressive. Let's look up. What do you mean ASM number one? Also, let's here. Put down a blanket for me to stand on. Gosh, some of my earlier streams, I would some of my earlier streams, shit you not, I would stand for 3.5 to 4 hours straight. I do not know how I came out the other side like conscious, but yeah, there were some streams I did back in the day where I was just so lightheaded. Am I like misspelling something here? Is it because I'm under my comics and not all comics? That could be it. I should still show it though. Also, I'm just having issues a little bit with the ecomi wiki. Okay, so it's showing 14, but so the uncommon has, that's not right. It says 48,000, which is not right. I could show this up on my phone. I believe you though. I totally believe you. Okay, let's do this. Give me a sec here. I was stacking Ghost Rider. Was just kind of in the thing of selling it off. Choo choo, if that's what you're asking. Hello. It's bright. That is the thing I have to copy and paste in this program so it knows that I want to share my screen. There it goes. Cool. There's me. I'm watching myself on my my own stream. All right, so I already have the do not disturb on. Give me a sec. Let's see here. Close that. Don't need to see that. Okay. You guys can see this, right? Should be able to. Okay, cool. You guys can see this. Let's go here. So, not Brian. So, we're in comics. And I believe you too when you say that, but I just want to see for myself and also like the pricing. Because it says right now the price is 160 for an uncommon. Amazing Spider-Man. Go here. Yeah, there's only it says 60,000 editions. It doesn't show uncommon, huh? Why does it not show? Okay, no, it does show it. It's hard to see, but it does show it right here. May have to like make this a bit larger. Will that help? No, it doesn't make it. It doesn't even make it bigger, actually. Yeah. Jack Kirby, big deal. Yeah, 6,000 editions. That's really cool. And for 160, yeah. I don't know. Like maybe it's worthwhile to grab. It's worthwhile to grab a lot of the commons, uncommons, rares. Doesn't matter of any of the high tier stuff, but at least me personally, maybe part of me kind of wants to focus a bit more on like the ultra rare side of things. But I guess if I am stacking, I think gem for gem or percentage wise, I mean the cheaper stuff does have an easier time to run, right? At least in my mind. So maybe I should stack some of the cheaper stuff. We might never see it in the 30s again after this dip, especially with exchanges coming. I think so too, which is why I'm kind of debating. I'm like, all right, I have like 2.5 grand. Like, should I just put that in Omi? Like, I also have some other NFTs I could sell for profit. Should I sell those as well? You should add Rob's stuff. He's streaming. I'm not sure how that would work though, to be quite honest, because he's streaming, I'm streaming. If we add each other, I think he uses StreamYard. I use, not that it matters. We would both be like hosting each other in a weird way. But yeah, maybe I'll hit him up and see if he wants to do it. Maybe go to his chat and ask him what he thinks. Virtual box breaks. Are you stacking Ghost Rider? I was. Not anymore. I still got some stuff to sell in the Ghost Rider, so. Where do you see Ghost Rider comics will be at the end of the year? Got one at 250 at drop in the market when it dropped. Oh, it's just going to be up, Sirius. Again, I have no idea what the price of. If you want me to toss out a random number, 800 to 2,000 gems. Like I have no idea, and not even then. That's I couldn't tell you. Like a comic that's been out for less than 2 weeks, part of a gem squeeze, and have about 8 or 9 catalysts between now and the end of the year. Like I couldn't tell you, like what's gonna happen. But it's gonna be up. At least I would hope it would be up. I would say 9 times out of 10 it will be up. The only reason I could think it would be down is if there's just absolute chaos and just an ungodly bearable market in crypto and NFTs and everything across the board, and Veve's behind on all of their goals and their launch dates, and Veveverse is not out yet, and Omi NFT is delayed until 2023. Like you would have to have like bad information. Like you have to have a lot of just like terrible info back to back to back, I think, to have like Ghost Rider be lower than what it is now. MCU1 uncommon as 6,000 editions too. Cool. All within reach. Correct. Kind of more curious about the price movement. Did I click on it? I did. Yeah, I already had it pulled up, but then I closed on an accident. But yeah, I think its all-time high was technically 400 or like just shy of 400, which is really cool to see. Guess I'll re-click it now to hopefully refresh it. I agree. I mean, that's what I mean, Joseph, right? Like there's so many winners on the app. People are going to, of course, root for the winners that they bought, right? I have a good amount of lenticular cards, golden moments, some other things on the app. And so that's the things I'm going to typically recommend first. But like there's plenty of things to buy on the app. Like whether you buy the uncommon or the ultra rare or this, like, you know, if you have $2,000, like are you better off buying, 10 of these, or are you better off buying 3 ultra rares, or like there's multiple ways to skin a cat or whatever. Yeah, I do not know what's happening here. Market is not showing, so maybe we'll do a refresh. Man, really having some issues. I actually have like less programs running. Like I don't have my roommate on the internet or anything like that, but just having some issues with my computer / ecomi wiki, it seems. That's a huge drop from common to uncommon. Yeah, that is. Like it's interesting how much, and I think back then they thought people would want the original cover, which is true to a certain extent, but I do think there are some people that like the alternative covers or different versions. So yeah, there's a huge drop off with the old school comics from the common to uncommon. I have 7 common Ghost Rider, 1 uncommon, 1 rare. Yeah. What I traded for, I need the SR. Yeah, SR is, how much is the SR right now? Not all comics. What are my comics? Secret Rare right now is, 1150. Not bad. we're all waiting on a move from Veve. More or less, I would kind of say keystones, more or less. Mostly for me, it's just what do you call it? It's mostly again around MTL. I think a lot of people are just waiting for actual MTL. Like I said before, I do think there are some whales that are just waiting to pull the trigger, or like at least like waiting to spend a bunch of money on the app. Because who knows? Like Veve, if they really, I would say if they wanted to, but if enough hurdles show up or if something happens, whatever, you know, MTL could get dragged out for another 3 months. Like that's a definite possibility. So, any thoughts on Courtyard? Minting NFTs of physical Pokemon cards. Courtyard is also back. Gary V. I've never heard of that. Courtyard NFT. Never heard of it. Want a chance to mint this Venus First Edition Shadowless? Courtyard collectibles. Let's check this out really quick. Yeah, what the hell is this? Own collectibles on the blockchain. Courtyard provides infrastructure to securely tokenize physical assets into NFTs. Shipping and patching third-party intermediaries. What the hell is this? Like, you ship them your card and then like they mint it as an NFT, trade their physically backed NFT on any Polygon compatible marketplace, burn their NFT on Courtyard's platform to redeem the underlying asset, spending pending KYC, stores physical collectibles in secured vaults. Courtyard stores physical collectibles in secured vaults and creates a corresponding NFT for each asset. The NFT is a 3D model that acts as a voucher to redeem underlying asset. I don't know about this. Is it backed by Gary V or something? This seems like on like face value, like initially, like if you didn't tell me it was backed by Gary V or whatever, like this looks like that's just something like, hey, just give us your extremely expensive Pokemon cards and we'll make an NFT of it. It's like, what? You want me to do what? Like the actual physical collectible? Like, yeah, just give it to us. We'll put it in a vault and we'll give you an NFT. Like, what? Why? I don't know. Who's behind Courtyard? Coming together, share passions for blah, blah, blah. Apple, Google, Boston Consulting Group, and more. So no Gary V. Meet the team. I don't know about this. Again, and this is why, I mean, I'd have to do an ungodly amount of research to like really understand that. I don't own Pokemon cards. Like I have nothing to turn in or do anything with it. So where are your physical collectibles stored? Our partner Brings has multiple secure vaults distributed worldwide, which allows us to take advantage of a global network to handle the logistics and secure storage of collectibles on our platform. I don't know. Also, like this, I don't know. I don't know about this. This just seems weird. I'm not against it, but it's, I don't know. Just seems weird that they need your physical collectible, and they also need to hold on to it too after the fact. I don't know. It seems interesting, but again, I don't know Pokemon cards or anything, so it doesn't really matter too much to me. But that's kind of interesting, Joe. Thanks for bringing that up. I don't really look into other NFT projects. I don't really, not that I don't care to, but just A, don't have the time and like don't know where to look and how to find them and all that stuff. But pumped for comics and showrooms. Hopefully we see within the next month. Team said potentially 2 weeks. They're like, well, we're just trying to figure out the things. I'm just like, dude, you can't get comics and showrooms? I don't know. Especially the fact that, as far as I know, we can't even read the comics. It's just displayed, but you can't read it. So, I'm not entirely sure how that play out. C3PO or Elsa, which would you buy with the recent dip? I would shoot for C3PO, but if all you can get is Elsa, that's fine. But I would shoot for C3PO personally, because Elsa isn't really tied to like another NFT, but innately, anytime R2D2 pumps, I think C3PO is going to follow. Or if C3PO pumps, you know, I feel like those two NFTs are somewhat tied together. But if we're talking, Elsa doesn't really have a counterpart or anything that's kind of tied to her, which is a positive and a negative, right? So, Connor, that'd be my take. I'd get C3PO while you can, but if all you can get is Elsa, that's fine too. Or would you put the 2K into comics / something else? Again, I think any of them are winners. I think you'll get more short-term profitability, or just like, I do think golden moments are going to pump harder than comics in general. Comics tend to be relatively, they will pump too, don't get me wrong, but I do think certain collectibles like the golden moments, the high tier ones like C3PO or Elsa, will pump up very, very quickly. Like, comics might do it as well. They might lag behind, because if we look at, I don't know, if we look at literally any collectible during that was like on during January. Oh, it's doing this again. The earliest parts, like, give me a, like, what's a pretty good, trying to find like a relatively good NFT. It's like showing the same ones again. It's shown Nightwing like 3 times. All right, let's just do this. Hopefully this will fix it. Is it right? Oh well. All right, let's do this. So during the pump of January, some of the very, very first NFTs to pump were the Grails. Like, it actually started as soon as like the first week of January, but a lot of the lower tier or less popular NFTs didn't pump till like really late January, right? Like, if we look here, like, Todd was actually already pumping like between January 2nd and January 5th. It went from 3.6 all the way up to 5.8. Then it pumped again, and then it basically did like 3 individual ones. And like, by the time, like, some NFTs didn't even start pumping until January 20th, around this area. But like, Todd was already at that pricing for a few days at its peak, and then it was already pumping for the last like week and a half, 2 weeks. So I just noticed that typically the Grails are the ones that pump first. Like, people want, obviously, if you have 25,000 gems, what are you going to buy first? You're not going to buy a bunch of Cryptkins first. You're going to buy the top tier stuff first, and then whatever gems you have left over, you're going to buy random comics, and then random, the next best things from top down, NFT wise. So I do think collectibles will see a bigger pump, but if you want something more consistent, more long term, things that aren't going to get squeezed as much during a gem squeeze, like, comics are probably the way to go, at least from what I've seen. Price wise. So that's my take on it. Like, collectibles are like stocks, comics are like bonds. They just react very differently from the market. So if you're going to buy something and you're legitimately planning on not selling it anytime soon, within the next like year plus, comics might be better, but I mean, collectibles would be good too, certain ones, especially golden moments. But if it's something that like you just can't stomach, like, oh god, like, you just get really worked up with like gem squeezes and you're just like worried and all that stuff. I noticed that like mostly people that are worried about their assets are usually people that don't have the money to put into the app, week over week, month over month. Like, if you don't have that kind of income coming in to actually like continually put money in, because people that are able to continually put money in, they're never worried about a dip. They're like, I don't care. Like, I can always just buy more. I can always buy the dip. It's going to go up eventually. I'm not worried. But when people don't have the means of putting more money in, and all they have is the money that's on the app. They're like, oh my god, like basically it's like their bank account, like it's going down. Like I should cash out and just conserve what I can and whatever. Like, so I think that's the next question is like if you don't have the means of putting in more money, that's another aspect you should like look into. Is SR Hitmonkey undervalued or your Hitmonkey undervalued? Ultra Rare 300, SR 2K. Not really a big fan of like Hitmonkey. Where the hell is it? Is this it? Here it is. Like, where's Hitmonkey? That's the other thing that's kind of hard to find on here sometimes is like actual comics. Here it is, down here in like the B tier, at least according to this, right? So it's second from the bottom. I think it's mostly just getting hard carried by its low mints. It's new, cool cover art, new show on, I forgot, is it HBO? Whatever the hell it's on. It's like new, but other than that, I wouldn't invest in that. Like you said, the Ultra Rare at 300, I'd rather buy the Ghost Rider Ultra Rare for 250, or I'm sure there's some other Ultra Rares that are around 300 I'd rather buy. And for 2K, again, me personally, I'd rather buy literally anything else for 2K. Golden Moment, buy anything else. And that's the thing, right? It's like, if there was 1 million people that got on the app, how many people do you think that would know what like it goes like this? How many people know Hitmonkey? Or I should say it starts like this. How many people want comics? How many people want Hitmonkey? How many people want comics? How many people know what Hitmonkey is? How many people that want Hitmonkey? How many people are going to want to spend that much on Hitmonkey? And how many people are going to want to, invest that? Like you have to go through multiple layers of people. But when it comes to like something like Spider-Man or Batman, people are like, hey, do you want collectibles? Sure. Do you know Batman? Yes. Like that's it. But a lot of people know Batman and Spider-Man and or other comics and stuff. So for the price point, I'd rather just stick with what's known and not something that is so new and a character that's, I don't know, maybe it has a niche in the meme monkey community or something like that. I have no idea. I'm trying to like play devil's advocate here a bit, but me personally, I say just stick with what's popular, stick with what people know, what people get on the app. The very first thing, like I got 3 of my friends on the app somewhat recently over the last couple months. The first things they asked was like, hey, do they have Spider-Man? And because I told them there's like superheroes on the app, I'm like, cool. Like, hey man, is there like a Spider-Man NFT on here? I'm like, yeah. Like, no one's jumping on here asking for Hitmonkey, or no one's jumping on here asking for like Kripken or Bigfoot, or people are gonna want the big IPs, right? On average. Not that I think it's a total just dog water comic book, but not a lot of people know of it. And if they do, they're like, oh, that's cool. They're like, cool. Do you like it enough to spend 300 gems or 2,000 gems on a secret rare? Like, probably not. I'd rather buy other things. And that's the thing I do. I typically compare to other popular comics and or collectibles at that price range, where I think like, all right, would people rather buy this NFT that I'm thinking about for 300 gems, or would people rather just buy a Spider-Man this or a Batman that, or a Disney this for 300 gems? Like, and if I say yes to most of those, I'm like, all right, it's probably not the best value. One thing I was thinking about, do you think that there will be a bigger drop than Golden Moments this year? Like, let's say Harry Potter or something. I would think so. Bigger than Golden Moments, it's kind of abstract, right? How do you define if it's bigger than Golden Moments? Is it something that's more recently popular, or is it something that is a big IP that we haven't had yet? I don't know. Like, Golden Moments are the first Disney drops on the platform, which is a pretty big deal, right? So there is that. So, I mean, I think, will they be good? Yes. Will some of them outprice some of the Golden Moments? Sure. It depends on the characters, the mint numbers, the IP. It depends on a lot of different things. Is it going to be in the middle of a gem squeeze like right now? Maybe, maybe not. But that's the thing, right? There's always going to be something new. So it's hard to say. There's always going to be, there's going to be at least 50, 100, 150, 200 more grails that can hit the platform. Darth Vader, Harry Potter, um, Lord of the Rings, this and that. Like, there's a lot of like very hard hitting IPs with very high tier or beloved characters that could like get on the platform and become grails. Like, there's still dozens of them. 50, 100. Like, there could be more that are coming over the next 2-3 years, and people are always going to want to chase them, right? So, of course, I think there will be something big, as big as Golden Moments. I don't know, possibly. Watch Hit Monkey on Hulu, and you'll be a fan. I'll probably like it. I don't know if I'm going to be a $2,000 fan for a Secret Rare, but I don't know. What's your thoughts on Avengers 47? Which one is that again? I have to actually like pull it up here because sometimes I forget. Black Knight. I'll be honest, I'm not too sure about this one. I still have yet to see the newest Spider-Man movie with all the different Spider-Mans. I still have yet to see Eternals. I still have yet to see Black Panther. Like, there's still some movies I've yet to see that I, again, just keep forgetting, or I don't have enough time, or whatever it is. Mostly it's just I just forget and I get caught up either playing video games or making a video or just doing other stuff instead. Or streaming, whatever it is. So, could it do well? I don't know. It is, even BV Rank mentions it here. Dane Whitman becomes his Black Knight, already appeared in the Eternals, played by Kit Harington, could have a large role going forward in the MCU. Speculative buy. If there's a lot of MCU stuff involving Black Knight, that'd be cool. But me personally, not too sure. Kind of curious to see what they what's said here. I don't even know what it looks like, to be quite honest. Let me double check. Okay, that's the one with like Magneto on it. Not up here. Yeah, it looks like it's down here where it's a bit more of like a speculative buy again. Not terrible. I like the cover art. Like, I've always liked X-Men. Like, anything with X-Men in it, like, I think it's awesome. Love Magneto. Love this art with that Colossus. I even like this one. Where is it? It's down here. It's like very bottom tier. This one. I know it's kind of hard. The Uncanny, if I remove this, you can probably see it better. The Uncanny X-Men 308. Like the Thanksgiving one, like where it has all like the good guys and bad guys. Like, I love that art. It says trash tier, yes, but I like the art. So that's all that matters. But yeah, like, what do I think of it? I think it's okay. I don't know. Maybe a little bit like, and that's the thing, right? You don't always have to just chase whatever's the new thing, right? I'd rather, part of me, I think I do set aside some part of like my vault for like some speculative buying, but also it's like, you just can't go wrong with Golden Moments. You can't go wrong with just like the top tier comics, right? So Harry Potter would be dope. Correct. I think it would be dope too. Because back in the day, Veve used to include Harry Potter stuff in their articles. Yeah, like even if you go to their homepage, they still talk about like Monster Hunter and Fast and Furious. Like, there's still like a bunch of IPs that they still haven't even talked about yet. So I don't know if Harry Potter is one of them, but Cursed Children in London is still full every time. I don't even know what that is. Cursed Children in London? What is that? Harry Potter and the Cursed Rod. Oh, I honestly like stopped like watching and or like listening like the movies after like the third movie. Not that I don't like it, I just didn't care to keep up with it, and I just could not bear to read the books. I was more of a Lord of the Rings fan growing up because like the Lord of the Rings movies as well as like the Harry Potter movies kind of released around the same time. I always felt like Harry Potter was just too like, I don't know, like I've heard it gets dark later for sure, but it like initially it was just like too lighthearted and whimsical and funny and this and that, and I guess that's that's what makes it kind of fun and endearing, right? At the same time, I just like the gritty realness and the war-torn land that is just like Middle Earth. I just like that a bit more, so that's just me. Elder One NFT pump. I agree. I agree. So I was looking up something on my phone. I don't know why it shows it like this. This is another reason why I'm not the biggest fan of Restream, because it doesn't show any of my custom emotes. They could easily do an NFT drop connected to that. Probably. Yeah, I could see that. Cursed Children is a Harry Potter play. Gotcha. Does Veve have a roadmap for 2022? Kind of. Kind of. Let's say that. From this, it sounds like what's going to happen is over the next, hopefully, 2 to 4 weeks, we'll have comics in the showroom. Hopefully, within the next 2 months, we're going to have MTL kind of either fully rolled out, or people are going to start getting it at a larger scale, whatever it is. We'll maybe have Q system over the next 2 to 3 months. They did say 2 months, but I don't know if they meant 2 months from now, or that once we start it, it will just be 2 months of testing before we fully roll it out. Who knows? They weren't exact with that. Omega NFT, hopefully by the end of the year. So it's just a lot of hopefullys right now. Because Keystone, in case you didn't, you might be new to Veve or whatever, but like by this year, I say like this time of year, I think Veve expected to have like maybe 150,000 people on the platform by now, right? Maybe like 200. And right now they have like 2 million people on the platform. So it's, it's right now the numbers that they're working with are 10 times larger than they initially thought. So I think they are a little bit behind schedule. They might be rushed out some releases a little bit earlier than schedule just to kind of keep up with the demand on the people of the app. But, who knows? It's not their words. It's, it's mine. I'm just speculating here. But I do think they're just like legitimately really understaffed. And they're probably in the process of hiring people. They want to make sure it's the right people and legally and all that stuff, right? Because if you hire some of these people, they have access to information that people should not know. Like if you're a 3D artist or an animator or whatever, and you're working on like the next NFT, I'm assuming they outsource it, but if they do hire people like internally to do stuff like that or whatever, like you could share that information and be like, hey, by the way, like I'm making a Wolverine right now, and it's gonna probably be released in the next couple months. So maybe you should just sell all your stuff, or there's a huge drop coming in December, or March, late March. Like be ready. Like I don't know, like insider info is a big thing. This new drop system will be silly. I might buy 5 cheap Android phones. Yeah, that may or may not be against terms of service. With the Q system as it is right now, I don't know if there's going to be a limit per IP. Maybe Veve doesn't care, because from what I've heard is that the limit per IP is 5 or something like that. I've heard that, but then again, it's like, all right, is that one person? Like Veve doesn't know if it's one person or legitimately 5 people. Or what if it's like a public IP, like a campus internet or something like that? Like, I just don't know. So that could be against TOS. Like, I would just double check. But if not, then go for it, dude. Like, get whatever edge you can. Sheesh. All right. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see what you mean. Keystones. Again, they don't have like an actual printed out roadmap. We're just getting a slow drip of information via Twitter, as well as like these AMAs that they do occasionally. We see prices going down more. Got 1K gems, and I don't know when to spend. Yes, King Khan. I would say yes. I think prices could go down more. I'll be quite honest, and I would hold. I mean, hell, you could pick up an Iron Man for 1K if you just hold. Like Iron Man right now is already at 1.3. I do think prices could go down more. And if it doesn't, who cares? There's plenty of shit you could buy for under 1K. That's still going to be discounted for, based on its current price. They don't care about people buying gems off app. They cannot care about this. They will not care about this. Yeah, probably, It's mostly just because buying gems off app isn't TOS. That, you can do whatever you want. But I do think having multiple devices or whatever could be against it. Just a heads up, Let's see here. Let's take a quick gander at, is there any like NFTs you guys want me to look at, or any specific ones? I know I've been looking at the comics and stuff a lot. Alpha Flight. So again, it's like, I'm not sure. I think ecomi wiki might be a little bit messed up. When I go to comics top gainers, it just seems like it just puts everything in alphabetical order rather than actual top gainers. And then when I clear it, I think it just does the same. When I clear it, it just goes from most recently released, which is fine. Oof. Tales of Suspense Ultra Rare, 70 gems. Check Super Grill. I'll check Super Grill in a sec. Yeah, Tales of Suspense 77. This one was the first appearance of Peggy Carter. I knew this one wasn't going to do amazing, let's say. Yeah, 250 for the secret rare. All right, let's see. All collectibles. We'll check out Super Grill. Julie T will also go down more. I think so. I think legitimately everything on the app will go down a little bit more surrounding any kind of MTL announcement. I mean, even right now, we haven't really had a. I mean, we haven't had a big release since what? 007, which was a little over a week ago, 2 weeks ago. When was that drop? Part of me feels like that was a while ago, but at the same time, it also feels like it wasn't that long ago. Come on, work with me. That was February 26th. Today's 6th. Okay, so that was 8 days ago. 9 days ago. FA, I assume you meant the FA version. But Julie, I do think that not Supergirl, but Elsa will go down more. I think everything will. All information pending MTL. Okay, Supergirl made a nice little move here. Jeez, I cannot believe she was at 2,300 at one point, then immediately nosedived. Jeez, I mean, she's starting to hit her absolute bottom, at least in my opinion. The box price for this one. So back then, I don't think there was technically. Comics were always blind box, but I think the early days of Veve, there wasn't blind box collectible drops. Like, thinking in hindsight, when you think about it, like, oh, like maybe Todd and Rizzo should have been blind box, or Todd, Rizzo, and Joe Mad and Becky Cloonan all should have been blind box. But back then, there was a different price for like each one. So the Cover Girls season 1, which included, as you guys can see here, maybe if I like hide my thing, it was Catwoman, Batgirl, Mara, and Supergirl. But Supergirl was 90 gems. Mara was like, I think 60. Batgirl was 40, and I think Catwoman was 50. So each one was actually a different price, which is kind of crazy to think about. So it wasn't a blind box format like we had with the most recent Cover Girls, which was you spent 50 gems. I think it was 50, yeah. 50 gems, and you can get any one of the 4. Back then, it was like there was a different price. You could pick one. There's a different price for each one. Kind of similar to like the independent artist or like the specimen drop, right? Specimen drop they made a while ago. You get to pick your rarity, pick which one you want, and you just try to buy it. So, yeah, this one is just like really down. Like no surprise. For the most part, it's at what 660 right now. Was at 610 not too long ago. I'm starting to think it's starting to hit its bottom. I think hovering around 600 is like its absolute bottom. Like people have not been buying her for much higher than that for a while. Like if people were buying her for under 400, like back here in December, November, October, it would go lower. But because I think, back here, people were buying between 550 and 600 on and off for about 2 months. That's why it's kind of seeing a stoppage right now. At least that's what I'm thinking in my head. Is it a good time to pick it up? Maybe. I just think there's other things better to buy with your 660 gems. Like 2 Ben Reillys, 2 lenticular cards, or a single. Or you can get a Donald plus like 2 Spider-Mans right now. Like there's a lot of good stuff you can get for 660, and not a huge fan of the Supergirl personally. All right, let's go back to. Kind of curious about Wonder Woman. Now you got me curious about the grills on the app. Let's see. Still showing Supergirl. Put Wonder Woman. I don't know why it's showing this. What the hell? Maybe it's separated? Wonder Woman. Jeez. I kind of want to check out the non-FA version. Like the Series 2 cover girl. Gosh. How much were these again? These were 60 gems. Okay, wow. Yeah, it's starting to get to that point where I think it's starting to hit its low. I mean, it could go down to like 75 if people really wanted to, but shit, it could get that low. That is nuts. And then the FA version's down to 428. I remember when these dropped, Wonder Woman was around 900. Like it was at like 800 that actually pumped up to like 910 very briefly, then it went right back down. Maybe not, maybe it wasn't that high. But regardless, like and again, like it could go down to like 350. People were buying this for under 350, let's say, for a long time. So it could stop at 400 and that's like its absolute bottom, or maybe like 375. That's its absolute bottom, but it's starting to really get there where it just cannot go any lower just price wise. Like people just invested too much into it for too long to just sell it off for a loss. Like it also just wouldn't make sense to me to just, I mean, if you held it for 3 months and you're just going to just sell it now for a tiny profit, I don't know. But maybe you need the gems that badly. Like I don't blame people for doing that at all whatsoever when they do it. All right. Cool. Just chill out here for a sec. Ooh. I was contemplating going out with some friends and day drinking today, but I already went out last night for my friend's birthday and already messed up like my sleep schedule and stuff. So I was like, I'm kind of over drinking for now. I'm just chilling here while I can, but still waking up, even though this monster's not doing much for me. Ooh. It's the good stuff. Man, these new drops, these Matt Gondek drops did not do very well. When you have 4 out of your 5 drops all go below retail, it's not a great look. 2 more drinks will be okay. Fun under the sun? Yeah, these Matt Gondek drops did not do very well at all. And I knew they didn't. Like, some people are complaining, like, is this a bad look for Veve? Like, that there's drops going below box price. I'm like, dude, that's just the market. Like, I knew to just not even bother going for these because I just knew these were not going to do well. And I don't know, like Veve tried like really hard, I feel like, to pump up this independent artist. Like they hosted him on an AMA. They tweeted about him pretty frequently, you know, probably the same as like your normal drop. But they also sent out an email talking about Matt Gondek on the via email. I think the last time I actually got an email was 12 days of Veve or something like that. So like they're really hyping this guy up. But yeah, everything's below box price. So I'm still on the fence whether or not I want to buy a weapons rack, pink and blue, just because like the colors do match like the stream and stuff. Whoops, I should probably share this. I'm still debating whether I want to buy the 33 gem version or like the uncommon, because the colors do match ecomi wiki plus like my logo and stuff. So I thought that'd be kind of fun to at least like have it for the most part. There's 809 listings. Like, jeez. I mean, how much is that? That's like, it's not quite, it's probably like 15%. Yeah, that's like 15% of the circulating supply is up for sale, which is quite a bit, considering that most other listings are anywhere between like 8 to 10, and on the low end is like below 5%. Yo, dude, what's the last thing you bought? Was all the Ghost Rider stuff. The last thing I actually bought was the Ghost Rider listings that they did a while back. That was like the last thing I actually bought. Yeah, I didn't buy any like the Aston Martin. I didn't buy Black Panther. Yeah, I didn't buy any of these. Like, at least like collectible size, and then I haven't bought any other comics. So yeah, that's probably the last thing I worked. Fun on the Sun. Any word on Omi to NFT? No. Last we heard was 3 AMAs ago when we had David Yu on the, in the AMA, and someone asked like, oh, are we gonna have MTL before Omi to NFT? He just said, we're gonna have MTL before Omi to NFT, and then he's talked about some stuff. And he's like, Omi to NFT will be later this year, which probably means late November, like mid to late Q4, I would imagine, if we were ever gonna have it. Which makes sense, because again, if we do Omi to NFT around Christmas time, people are in a spending mood, a lot of money to be had. People are just going to be really throwing a ton of money at VV during that point. So that's, I think Omi to NFT probably around the holidays would make sense, at least in my mind. But yeah, and it's at least the whole Matt Gondek thing. Like I kind of knew this was going to play out this way. It's not his fault. It's not anyone's fault. It's not, people are like, oh, is it greedy that he's asking for 60 gems? Because like, I would assume that VV and the independent artists come to an agreement of what they should price their NFTs for the most part. So there's some middle ground. And him being not familiar with VV, and VV already working with a few other independent artists, he probably asked them like, hey, what should I price these? Like, I don't know. So, I mean, it's the same price as like Disney stuff, but it's so hard to flourish on an app like Veve when you have like Disney, Marvel, DC, you have cute, like big hitting superheroes, you got comics on here. Like, it's really hard to like do well and flourish on this app, and like do well and not kind of. And I think honestly, like most of these independent artists, unless they're very, very, I'm gonna say they're independent artists, but they're like, well-known communities or circles or whatever. It's going to be hard for them. I think most of them will sell depending on the box price. Like, this is how probably most independent artists are going to be going forward, just because there's just other things that are better to buy, especially during a gem squeeze. So he came in at like a really rough time, to be quite honest. So, I mean, it is what it is, but it happens. So what else do we have going on? Alluvium. Who was it that brought that up to me? I think it was VVM3. Have you guys heard of Alluvium? Or Alluvium? Let me see if I can spell it. A lot of people are talking about Alluvium. Alluvium. There it is. It says it's an open world RPG game. Hold on, let me read the description of it right here. Open world RPG adventure game built on the Ethereum blockchain, journey across the vast and varied landscape on your quest to hunt and capture deity-like. Now you got me interested. Deity-like creatures and stuff. So this could be a cool little project to get into. Some people were talking about, from what it sounds like, it's kind of like Pokemon-ish. Like, CoinSpot, buy ILV. How much is like ILV? Binance. I don't have accounts on any of these platforms. I probably should, but NFTs. Dawnlight badge, bronze. Genesis promo. What the hell is this Genesis promo? Interesting. What do you think about Journey into Mystery comic? It's great, Jacob. The one with Loki? Yeah, I mean, that one's super cool. Like, it's good. It's definitely up there. I think I do have that as one of the NFTs I have listed, or like one of the comics I have listed as like ones I do want to invest in at some point. So yeah, these seem like kind of cool, but also like kind of weird. I don't know. Is this like what it's going to look at? I'll have to like watch a video on it another day. Because VDM3 and a couple other content creators have talked about Alluvium. Yeah, Alluvium NFTs. Cosplays? Interesting. Content creators? Oh, I don't know. Character leaks? Whatever. Dash. You can like capture these, I guess. So they have four creatures you can capture right now. Seems kind of cool. But kind of wish this whole top gainers, top losers things like actually worked. Because right now it's just still messed up. Pepperino. Nightwing. Kind of want to check out the Batmans too. See how they're doing. Part of me does want to maybe start flipping them as well. Like once the market starts pumping and things kind of start like tapering off, maybe a few months from now or weeks, whatever it is. I think it's gonna all revolve around MTL. When that does get done, let's see here. Come on, there it is, Batman. I think Batman stuff or just DC stuff in general are going to be very good for flipping. Darwin Cook at 120. That's interesting. I remember there was a period of time where he was like below 100. Very briefly, but he was below 100. Let's see. Was that the case? Let's open this. Let's see. Was he below 100? Maybe there's a very brief period of time where he was below 100, but I do remember Darwin Cook. Maybe it was Dick Sprang, Batman. Not Dick Sprang. Maybe it was. Dude, remember there was this guy who bought up like all the Dick Sprangs, all the way up to like 300 gems or something crazy a while back. Yeah, this pump right here. It was below, let me see. Yeah, it was at 164, and then some guy went in, bought all of them. Good God, this graph is kind of hard to track sometimes. All up to 240. Someone actually came in and bought probably like 10 or 15 of these. So they probably spent a good like two and a half grand on just Dick Sprang Batmans. And now it's already gotten lower than that already, so it's a big oof. It's just hard. Like, it's just hard to spend money right now. There's just like very little to no buying pressure on the market right now, which is why I'm just hesitant to really buy anything right now, to be quite honest. I do want to try and get the best bang for my buck because I'm not one of those people that has the opportunity to throw thousands of gems or thousands of dollars at the app every month for the most part. Jason Fabbuck at 250. Interesting. Is that his? Can't be his all-time low, or is it? Let's see. He's getting there. Definitely his low, not his all-time low, but it's definitely his low during this crash. I mean, hell, it can go down to 200 if it really wanted to. Yeah, it could go down to 200 if it really wanted to. MS, what percentage of people on the app would you guesstimate are actual collectors and not looking just to make money? Do you think the answer is a direct reflection of the market? Gosh, I think there are some people that were flippers that have become collectors. Like, I do think Veve has created a lot of collectors on the platform. Let me do this. I don't know why it's like covering my face. I think there is a way to adjust that. I just don't know how. Like, how to fix that, because I know other people got it set up differently. Collectors are not just looking to make money. I mean, even collectors are looking to make money eventually, right? Either they want to maybe give those collectibles eventually to their children or whatever, or to sell them eventually, right? Like, everyone has a price. If you come out with the right kind of price, like everyone has a price. So I think in the end of the day, like everyone, like there are collectors, but only to like a certain extent. You think it's a direct reflection of the current market? Yes and no. I think it's not just people just trying to cash out, but it's also just other aspects of real life happening, right? I think a collector is just as much capable to sell off their collectibles, and if they're like in a tight financial situation, or something happens in real life, or the project they think is just falling apart, whatever it is, like they can cash out just as much as, you know, the flipper, right? So I don't think it really matters all that much, at least in my personal opinion. And how to see it on the market, it's so hard to like pick out like, oh, this is going up because people are trying to, like, I don't know who the people are that are trying to sell things out. We just kind of assume that they're all paper handers. We just assume like these are people that are paper handing. These are people that are bots. These are people that bought gems off apps so they can just sell stuff for a major discount or even below, you know, prices because they got gems off app. Like, who knows who the people actually are? But the answer is probably somewhere in the middle, but not. I don't think it's as black and white um, as that. And like I can't identify people by just or like the type of sellers or buyers or collectors or the types of users by just like looking at graphs. It's hard to tell. Or actually, it's impossible to tell, really. I have had low mint comics on the market for the last couple months, and oddly enough, they were all bought up in the last 72 hours. It makes me wonder if someone knows something that I don't. What were you pricing them at? Like, did you like lower your prices recently? Like the last like week, let's say? Did you recently lower your prices to match them? Or if people are, I guess in their mind, if they see, like, let's take this graph for example. I know it's showing Batman, but like, let's pretend this is a comic graph. You know, if there's a comic that has history of easily hitting above 650, or maybe they're looking at this like, all right, hey, this comic has actually been over 600 gems for 2 or 3 weeks, and I think you can hit that again. Maybe you posted your sub, you know, your low mint, whatever. Maybe it's for 500, maybe it's for 600. They're like, cool. Like eventually that low mint is going to be worth way more later. So I don't know. It really depends on what you priced it at, or if you lowered the prices recently, Mike. So it's hard to say. All the whales and OGs are holding and or buying more. Enjoy the deals while we have them. I agree. Buying now is not a mistake by any means. I'm just waiting a bit longer because I can. And worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, there's a good chance that I might just transfer a good portion of that money out and buy Omi while I can, you know, before things pump. I don't have access to the cash out feature yet, but there is always that. 7 Donald golden moments or 1 Todd for better ROI? Huh. I'm assuming, like, let's assume, I'm just, in my mind, I'm assuming, like, okay, after pump, maybe Donald's will hit, like, 2K. No, actually, they can hit higher than that. Like, let's say even 2.5K. Times that by, what, 7.5, so that's 14 plus, so that's like 17.5K, or Todd. I mean, Todd's nice because the 2.5% fee, right? But I still think there's a ton of people just like holding on to Todd from early on. But same thing with Donald and Daisy. If anything, I think this dip has probably fleshed out more people from Donald and Daisy than it has like Todd. Because Todds are already long-term collectors, or people are up so much on Todd that I think some of them don't mind just waiting, right? I don't know. That's a hard one to say. If I had to say, I'd probably pick Donald's. Just more of them, you can sell them off. You can dollar cost average on your way up. Hell, you might even be able to rebuy a Todd later on with that much money if there's another crash or something weird happens. So I would say golden moments, in my opinion. No, I didn't lower prices, but I do see ones listed around me that seems to have gone up. Interesting. Yeah, maybe. Did you see who bought it? That's another thing too. If you said they're getting bought up, I'm kind of curious who bought them. I mean, you can look that up, right? If it's the same person, or if you do see maybe like a trend with the names, if you think they're like bots, and or if there's some like big name people, either content creators like Mr. Pags or whoever, like, I don't know how low these mints were too, right? Are we talking like sub 100s? Are we talking 500s? Bottom 10% mints, bottom 20%? I know kind of, you know, low mint means different things to different people at the end of the day. Yeah, so Batmans are chilling for the most part. Todd is still pretty lowish, but what's the other one I was going to look at? There was another NFT, I think the Spider-Mans. Look at the Spider-Mans. Spider-Man. Come on. There he goes. Sub 100 Spider-Man. Wow. Spider-Man 2099 going to 1318. Ghost Spider at 75. Yeesh. Spider-Woman. Gosh, I remember buying these zombie hunters at like 260, 275, and that was like still right before when they hit like 400. just crazy to see these prices be so cheap now. Then Riley at 300. At 300. Is that still the case right now? No way. Let me look it up on the app. I don't think that price is going to last that long. I don't know. It did go up. I mean, it still has a little bit more room to go down. Like, this was down here. Definitely. 200. It could, if it really wanted to, it could probably go down to 250. I don't know about all the way down to 200, but 250 is not out of the question. Brand. Let me look up Spooderman's. See if I can show this. Spooderman. Spooderman. Hell yeah. Caleb knows what's up. Spooderman. I don't need this. Just remember that. Ben Riley's. 330. Look, it's already gone up. Like, I think if maybe that was a single listing that was at 300, but I did not expect it to hold that value for much longer at 300. Ultra rare. Jeez, dude, these walls are so thin. It goes from 4.9 to 5.6K, then 6.3. So it's like, so it goes a what? 700 gem undercut, followed by another 700 gem undercut. Like, that is just nuts. People are undercutting that much. This is a 4.9, dude. Just chilling right here. If I had enough gems, I like, hell, that might be one I would buy and just like relist if I had enough gems, but I mean, there's a 4.9 on the floor. Ghost Spider at 75. She's still there. Wow, she's going even cheaper than 75. I'm trying to remember. It was, I think it was Dino stream. Someone's like, finally an NFT that's worse than Spider-Woman. Like, they're talking about the new Matt Gonstead, Gondek NFTs. Like, finally something worse than Spider-Woman. I'm like, dude, that's shots fired right there. Yeah, Spider-Woman's still going below box price, which was at 40, which is nuts. It's just, she doesn't even look like a spider or anything. I don't know what her deal is. Zombie Hunter, 125. Ultra rare, 550, so it's still the same. 2099, 1.3. Okay, it seems like a lot of people are trying to get rid of that one. Secret rare. Huh. The common. Let's see. 500. Macho 99. I like that name at the top. 500. Green Gabo 460. Good God. I remember buying this guy like 770 or something like that. I thought I got a good deal. Rip. Hell no. What do we got here? Veve Vault, what's up, dude? I bought 2 Powers of X SR in the last 24 hours. 1.7K and 2K. Good call. Let's pull it up really quick. And then we also got, not Spider-Woman. Yeah, someone's like trash talking like, finally an any worse than Spider-Woman. I'm like, bruh, don't do that to my girl. I don't own one. So, Spider-Man rare at 850. So disrespectful. Is there one at 850? Let's see. I mean, there's like 3 at 850. There's 2 at 850. 2 at 860. Yeah, dude. It's you know, we joke, we meme like, oh, disrespectful, but it's like, dude, people are just trying to get their money and either cash out or just buy something else, whatever it is. So we'll look at some comics really quick. Powers of X. Just look at Power. You should pull it up. Well, your investment's already up. Good, sir. Secret rare. It's just strange because I've seen like Powers of X isn't like rated super top tier, right? When it comes to the listings for the most part. So let's see. Pikmin continues. Okay. Charts look okay for the most part. Listings are very, very low. Holy moly. I actually kind of want to pull this up on my phone. I mean, we could actually see like a, what's it called? A Fantastic Four #5, like ultra rare, like 2.0 happen where the listings are just so low that all it takes is like 1 or 2 more buys and then the thing just starts running. Let's see here. I'm assuming that's probably part of, like, I know you've always been a fan of Powers of X, VV Vault, but at the same time too, I wonder if this was also part of your strategy where it's like, dude, there's not that many listed. That's what happened with Fantastic Four #5. Like, there was so little listings that like it was at 850 and like, you know, half a dozen purchases later, it was at like 1.8, like more than doubled in price. What am I looking for? I should probably show it so you guys can see what the hell I'm doing. Powers of X. Hopefully I didn't pass it. This is also the annoying thing too about the comics is like if you have to scroll down like this and it's obnoxious. I know there is a way to like do a search, but even then that like that's not accurate and just doesn't work that well. Did I pass it at all? I don't think I passed it. Did I pass it? I always get House of X and Power of X mixed up. Such a cool looking cover. Yeah. Say, I always get House of X and Power of X mixed up. Because it's, I mean, it sounds similar, right? But I didn't pass it. Let me just refresh. Apologies, this is taking a while, but this is Veve. I really hope they add like an easier search function or something to like. Is there an easier way to do this? Is there like a way that you guys are able to find these like easier on the market or anything like that? Let's see here. Hero for Hire. Amazing Spooter Man. More Amazing Spooter Man. At the bottom? It's probably at the bottom. No, it's not there. Dude, it's hiding from me. That's probably why, dude. There it is. Powers of X. Oh, I missed. Okay, this is what it looked. I was thinking of House of X initially, I guess. Dude, these covers remind me of like Star Wars. That common cover really reminds me of like Star Wars or something. And the uncommon cover, it looks like there's like the different multiverse versions of Storm, I guess. I don't know the story of like Powers of X. Yeah, dude, that secret rare cover is sick. But dude, these listings are so low. Dude, not even a full screen. That's crazy. This could run. Like, I don't know, if you get a few more people to buy into it. It's just hard because, you know, people like just me myself, I prefer just invest in the stuff that's more higher end, higher tier, like just comics, just as safe. But dude, this kind of reminds me of like Fantastic Four #5, where it's just like you just get the listings get low. If you get like, this is why I wish there was like an in-app like chat feature. I would just hit up all the people like below 5K or at 5K and be like, yo, can you guys just delist your stuff, or just like, yo, let's relist all of our secret rares for 15K. And the floor just disappears and gets reliked, and that's allowed, right? Like, it's a free market. You can talk to these people, you can do whatever you want. Like, why not? So me personally, like, would I have done those buys? Probably not, but I see where you're going with this. Like, the listings are super low, the cover art like looks amazing. I could have sworn, sorry if you guys get blinded by this, but Powers of X. Use House of X story. House of X story is super interesting, but at the same time, yeah, the listings are super low. We'll see. Hold on, let me go back here. Spider-Man, I already read all that. Sorry, Mike Mueller. Every time I see V Vault hop into a channel, I hear his "Let's go, let's go" from Drop Day streams. Oh yeah, let's go. There's always like some like basketball player going like this, like "Let's go," like flexing and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I know all of his cuts. I picked up Superman for 2,600. Do you think it was a good buy? I would say so. Yeah, I mean, could he go a tiny bit lower? I think he could touch 2,500. Worst case scenario, like 22. But I did fantastic buy. Like, I think if you buy anything right now, like it's gonna go up. Like, you just have to be patient enough, right? But yeah, dude, you got yourself a nice little grail. Mirror or Ghost Rider comic rare, better pickup around for around 100 gems. Probably Ghost Rider, in my opinion. Even though Ghost Rider's at like 60, I think, for the rare. I mean, you pick up a rare and a common for 100. I used to have a collection of you can pick up Ultimate Fallout for the common for like 95 right now as well. I don't know about Mira. I'm not sure about her. And it sounds like, Diane, you're open up to the idea to comics or collectibles. So either of those are fine. I mean, hell, you can even get a Ghost Spider plus a Ghost Rider comic common. I think both of those together might be around or a little bit over 100. Like, those are all good suggestions. At the bottom, House of X SR connects to the powers. House of X connects to the powers of X. SR going to be sweet in the showroom. Hell yeah, dude. They really need to add showroom stuff like soon with comics. Very smart, Veve Vault. Powers of X going places. I think so too. Veve Vegas. Hell yeah. Check the lowest and highest mints eyes. Highs or I don't know why it's not showing the previously sold info. Maybe that's not it for comics, but yeah, dude. I mean, there's some like, hold on. Yeah, the two low mints, dude. There's a low mint 465 for 5K, a 3-digit mint, and then a 52,700 gems. I really wish you could just hit these people up and be like, yo, just delist your stuff. Delist and relist. Anyone, all the people that are at or below 5K, just delist and relist at 15 or whatever. And then, you know, of course, they're going to betray you and then start undercutting you when you're asleep at night, and hopefully they get a sale. But that's the other thing, too. Like, do I think this comic's going to go for 15K? Like, no. But all it takes is a handful of sales for it to really start running, right? So, yeah, I did. And who's this? Execu Speak at 2.9K? I know that guy. I know that guy. I know that guy. Give me a sec. I think he's on Twitter. Spaces, photos. There he is. Give me a sec. It's because his name is at the Execu Speak. Here we go. Sorry, I thought I had this up. My bad. I'm tweeting this out. Got to put all the VV stuff. I literally just go. I literally just do VV collectibles, Festivus, community, whatever. That's good enough. The hell? No. Sweet. Hell yeah. There you go. Pumped it for a bit for you guys. I was like, wait, who's that? Execu Speak, always hanging out in here. Let's go. Yeah, dude, those charts are going up. I think it can go places. Like I said, very thin walls. I think it can go places. I just picked up Daredevil #1 just now. Hell yeah, Rios. That's awesome. Execu Speak. Yeah, dude, he's awesome. He is awesome. See if he notices. Hey, oh, what's up, Pixel Trader? I think you were here earlier, hanging out, lurking. But yeah, dude, I'm looking at this like super low supply, and I don't know if you're looking to flip or to hold long-term VV Vault. I don't think you would be wrong doing either, just holding it and just, you know, waiting long-term. But at the same time, if this thing does just like randomly run up to like 3K or something like that, I think I would not blame you at all whatsoever for also just selling it, taking profit, and either rebuying it when it goes back down, like during the hype. Because if we look at, there it is. Damn, I just had it. As we look at the Fantastic Four number 5, I was having issues with this chart earlier. Hopefully it's like fixed. That's not what I meant to do. All right, whatever. Yeah, it's still giving me issues with this chart. It's not telling me what this low point is. Like I highlight it, and it's like, I don't know why. This chart is just like giving me issues, but regardless, the listings were at an all-time low. And then all it took was a couple sales for it to really take off, which is why this thing, when I looked, and actually my brother actually texted me like, yo, like Fantastic Four number 5 is at like 1.8K. I'm like, what? So ecomi wiki didn't pick it up because it went up and down just as fast as it did within the hour. So I don't think ecomi wiki like picked it up. But yeah, the listings were really low. So 25 listings. I think it was even less than that. I think it was like 17 or 15 or something like that. It was really low. And then it's just, the price just started running. So obviously it pumped up quite a bit and it retraced because people are, you know, taking profit or just undercutting, whatever it is. So either way, however you play it out, I wouldn't blame you either way. I have two, one to hold, one to flip. That's a good call. It's probably the best way to do it. Are you that guy that likes to flip the 1.7 to make it look like the profit margin is bigger, or are you just going to flip the 2K one, you know, just to get rid of it, or, you know, I guess you would just flip whichever one is the higher mint, right? Keep the lower mint version. That's what I typically do. Veve Las Vegas. It's one of the rarest secret rare comics. 250 out of 25,000. Okay. Wow, I didn't know that. So it's 1% of the circulating supply is the rare, or the ultra secret rare. Dude, that's not, I didn't know that. Moon. What up, Vibes? What's up, dude? See Rios. I got Daredevil number 1. Daredevil rare number 1. Building up my blue chip comics. Also Fantastic Four number 1 as well. Comment. Hell yeah, dude. I keep the lowest serial, of course. Yeah, you got to. Just sell off the high. That's what I always do. When I was stacking Ghost Riders before, I was starting off with like all my highest mint or serial numbers first, and then I just started selling them off. I got, gosh, when the drop came out for the Ghost Rider comic, I bought 6 of the ultra rares. I wish I bought more commons because, like, percentage wise, technically the common did the best of all of them. But like, I mean, we're splitting hairs at this point, right? But yeah, I got a lot of the comics, and I've sold most of them. I still have kind of yet to get through like my commons and uncommons, but I still have 1 of each, just not the secret rare. Hey, Veve Vault in the building. Hell yeah, dude. If you want to hop on for a bit, you can, man. I'm actually using Restream, which is very similar to StreamYard and stuff. But if not, if you're busy, like, that's fine either way. Like, it doesn't matter to me. But I started recently using Restream because the last couple of times I had guests on, like Sleeping Comics and My Collectibles and stuff, they were just like having issues when I was using OBS plus Discord and stuff. It was just kind of a mess. So I was like, was a bit of a headache. So I just started using this. Let's head back to the collectibles. Kind of want to check out. God, what was the other one I was going to check out? There were some other ones I was thinking about. Well, the building, high flips. There's another collectible. God, I forgot the name of it. Should I keep my names consistent since I follow all of you on other platforms? It's up to you, man. It does kind of help. I remember it does help when people actually reach out to you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I figured you were busy, Veve Vault. But like when VV Vault reached out to me to do his like debate stream thing, which was a ton of fun, by the way. It was me and Crypto Chris or Chris V. I'm just gonna say Chris V. And that was a ton of fun. But like I remember when VV3 reached out to me, and his name was Old Rhubarb, and he reached out to me and he asked me, he sent me a DM, and it was like nicely worded and all that stuff. But I thought it was just some like random person. Plus, like it hasn't happened too often, but I've gotten like one or two just like weird tweets from people, not tweets, but like weird DMs from people like on Twitter. I'm like, I don't even know who you are, so like whatever, I just ignore it. But his name is like Old Rhubarb on Twitter, but his name is Corey, but on YouTube it's Vivian3. So I just like got confused. I don't know who the hell it was when he messaged me, so I just kind of ignored it. And then eventually I was on his stream. He's like, "Hey man, like I hit you up on Twitter." He just kind of ignored me. I'm like, "Is that you?" Like I had no idea. I thought it was just a random person. So I apologize. So. How do you feel about Todd versus SR Aston Martin? I feel Aston Martin took the lead. Really? Aston Martin SR is the best, bro. Yeah, dude. That's a big deal, dude. Like I don't want to put Aston Martin. It should be just down here. Yeah, like literally down here. I think Todd is still just price-wise currently still barely beating it, but yeah, I think some people are overlooking this. Like this is gonna be like the premium vehicle to have, right? Like as we have right now. Like I'm trying to think of another vehicle that would be able to beat out the Aston Martin, like in the VV verse, whether it's for collectors or whatever. And gosh, this thing really ran. Wow. So earlier, was that today? Yeah. So earlier today, it was going for 4.8, ran all the way up to 6.5. So right now it's in the retracement period. People are selling it off. Listings are high right now. But yeah, dude, like I can't think of another car that could beat it. There's the Knight Rider vehicle. There's, gosh, I don't even know. I guess eventually if we wanted like, Ghost Rider's motorcycle, or if we do like, dude, if we get Twisted Metal vehicles on VV, or if we get like Twisted Metal at all, like that'd be really sick. But other than that, like, I just can't think of another vehicle that could beat it. Plus it's interactive and it has like the cool things and stuff. So it's like, yeah, like it's just so hard to choose honestly between like, Todd or this. Like if I had, let's just say I had 6,000 gems or 6,500 gems, because where's Todd at right now? This is at what, just barely below 6. Todd's at 6,500. Yeah, it looks like this did beat Todd, or maybe tie Todd for a brief period of time, but that doesn't seem to be the case. People are selling it off. I would like, if you're going to try and rebuy it, it could go back down to like, let's say 5,300. And that's probably the best time to like rebuy it. You would have to watch the market floor and stuff, but it's going to go down. It's going to hit a certain point, and then it's going to go back up. Now that it has attention and people are talking about it, it's going to go down, and then it's going to go back up again. So it's not going to reach this high again, but I think it could go back up and settle around like 6K or something. But then we're still in a gem squeeze, so it's still going to like go up, then down, then up, then kind of just, just taper off from there. But overall, I think long term, I probably still have to say the Aston Martin, but you can't go wrong with either one. But the Aston Martin, I think, really leans into the VV-verse, so maybe Aston Martin goes up, but Todd is going to like stay ahead for now. But the second VV-verse or anything tied to VV-verse or anything related to that gets announced, I'd see Aston Martin like really pulling ahead, in my opinion. That's my take. And the ultra rare will go up too, but it's not interactive, so it's not as much as the secret rare, of course, but 100%. I do think the biggest pump or like the biggest catalyst for pretty much any of the vehicles is just like VV-verse, right? Just VV-verse. You can drive it around the gamification or whatever that's involved with it. Like that's the biggest catalyst for it.